angels. welcome back to our channel. To all the angels who joined us while I've been away, thank you so much. You are welcome. You are so welcome to this angelic channel, and I hope you enjoy what we are putting out there. I hope you enjoy all the Saudi series. I hope you enjoy all the little advices we give here and there. I really appreciate your patience for those who stayed till now. In fact, at the time I thought everybody would have gone by the time I'm back. In my next video, probably I'll be answering your personal questions. And I also want you to ask more questions, whether they are private, whether they're personal, whether they're related to Saudi Arabia, whatever that the relationship is. Just put down your questions and I'll be answering all of them. But right now, I'm going to be answering your Saudi related questions. I got a whole lot of questions on LinkedIn. In fact, some of you traced me to LinkedIn. I can't believe this, but it's all good. It's all good because I'm a little active on LinkedIn, but on Instagram and social media I totally logged out of those social media platforms and then logged into my life. A lot of people have been asking, I hope you're well, I hope all is well. This one we're not hearing from you. What is happening? How is the family? Yes, we are all good. And believe me, I appreciate all your love and concerns and your care. I appreciate everything. It means a lot to me. It shows me that what I'm doing is being appreciated. Meanwhile, if you have not subscribed and you just clicked on this video, I don't know what brought you here, maybe by chance, or you're searching and it popped up, please do subscribe. We talk about health, we talk about Saudi Arabia here. I talk about myself and my family sometimes, and more interesting topics will be coming on. So make sure you click the subscription button and also click the bell sign so that you get notified each time I upload any video. Yes, consistency, I can't really say anything about it, but just pardon me, forgive me for now, but it's going to be hot. So right now I'm going to be answering some of the questions you sent to me on Instagram, on Messenger, and some questions also on YouTube channel here in the comment section. I'm going to be answering them, and please, this is in no order of importance. Because whatever you ask is important to you, so I won't say this is in any order of importance, no. But I just picked a few questions I know I haven't answered on this channel in the past, and then I'm going to be answering them. If I don't answer your questions, just be rest assured that I will make another video where I will answer all the questions. But I need you to ask more questions. I love them. There's no problem. Some people say, well, I don't want to bother you. No, bother me. Bother me with your questions right now. There's no problem. I'm going to be answering all of them. If you watch where I am, this is not my house. We are actually in another city. We are in Jizan right now, just a vacation, and more videos are going to be coming from this break. More videos will be coming, videos on tourism, tourist attractions, best places to visit in Saudi Arabia, what Saudi Arabia actually looks like. People have been asking, how are you coping? This is one of our coping mechanisms. So just join us on this journey and you won't regret it, right? So without further ado, let me jump right into the questions and answer them ASAP. There's somebody, your name is Naura or something. You sent me a lot of voice messages, and I listened to them, and I'm going to be answering them. Asked three different, in fact her questions are almost 5, but I'm going to summarize them into different 3 different questions. The first one she asked was, how do you transfer from Nigeria to Saudi Arabia? Seeking for job, what are the requirements? I think I made a video about it. Yes, she said she watched the video, but she needed clarification. So this is like clarification. One thing is that for you to be able to work in Saudi Arabia, you have minimum of 2-year experience as a doctor wherever you are. Even as a nurse, you need 2-year experience as well to be able to work here. Now, her second question is, I talked about job security here in Saudi Arabia. She said she's confused about it. Or what was it like? I said your job number could be taken away from you if a local needs that job. That is the simple truth. It's even in your contract. If there's any if there's any local person who is in need of a job and is your job number that is on the next is the next on the list, your job could be taken away from you. Yes, you sign it as a contract, so that is not something that is shared, you know, it's an outright stuff. Then she also asked, what do I mean by working for the first 2-3 months without pay? It's just like that in any government establishment. Even in Nigeria, I can remember when I started my housemanship in University of Nigerian Teaching Hospital, Enugu, I worked 2 months without pay. That is the truth. But the thing is that in your 3rd month, all the 2 months will be paid together with your 3rd salary. It's not like they're not going to pay the money at all, no, but they're going to pay it with your 3rd salary. I mean, you get it in bulk. And that period, I think, is the probation period. They want to know if you're going to stay, they want to know if you're going to work before they start paying you salary, right? But I said that in my case, sometimes it may not get up to 3 months, sometimes it might be 2 months, sometimes it might be a month plus, but there's that probation stage when you start working here. And it's also region specific. So this region might go for 3 months, another region might go for 2 months, another region might go for 1 and few weeks, 1 month and few weeks, depending on your region. Now, you also asked about housing. Do they provide housing for doctors? Most hospitals, yes, you will get a housing within the hospital premises if you're single, and some hospitals have also housing for families, but it is not something that is very common right now. Most doctors will rent their houses outside of the hospital, and you get housing allowance. But if you're single and you want to stay within the hospital premises, there are hostels for doctors and for nurses who are single, especially female doctors and nurses who are single, where you could stay. But remember that you're not going to be getting any housing allowance at the end of the year. So that is it. You can either get your own housing, or you stay in the hospital provided housing if you're a female doctor and you're single. I mean, you're not with your family. But if you're with your family, you can easily get housing outside of the hospital premises and stay there with your family. And then at the end of the day, you will get your housing benefits. But if you're staying in the hospital provided hostels, you're not going to be getting any housing benefits. And that also goes to nurses. Most nurses will stay within the hospital premises, that is the hostel, and basically everything is provided for them. They don't get housing benefits, and the nurses don't also get a family work visa. It's majorly the doctors that get a work visa, which includes their dependents or their family. So that is it for it. Either you get your own housing or you go for hospital provided housing. That is if you're a single female doctor. Or I don't know, yeah, if you're single and you're a female doctor, you can get you can get a hostel in the hospital, and it's well furnished, well equipped. I mean, basically everything is provided for you, but it's just that I think you're entitled to a room. The nurses could share room, but the doctors are always entitled to a room to themselves with their bath and their toilets. And in some cases, I don't know if they share toilets, but you're entitled to a room as a doctor. So that is it for Omar. I don't know the full meaning of your name. Is UMM. Please just help me and send me a voice chat on how to pronounce your name. Sorry, I'm very sorry about that. I don't mean to I don't mean to do that to your name, please. Another person asked about nurses. This is from YouTube comment section. She asked if nurses are provided with accommodation, and how is the accommodation. Just like I answered in this previous question, yes, nurses, I mean single nurses who are single, or you're coming as a single person, you will be provided with accommodation. That is the hostel. And I just said in some cases you might be sharing a room with somebody, sharing a kitchen, a living room, and a toilet and bath. But if there are, I mean, if the nurses in your hospital or in your primary care center are not so many, you might be entitled to a room to yourself. So it's dependent on what is on ground, how many nurses are in that hospital, and what are the spaces available for nurses in that hospital. Now, inside the accommodation for nurses, which I have been to several of the accommodations, inside the accommodation for nurses, you have basically every equipment you need to live as a human being. You have your television, your refrigerator, your cooking range, you have your toilet and baths. I mean, any standard you want it. You have your sitting area with your sofas. I mean, basically anything. You have the bed, and even sheets sometimes. So it is well equipped. In most of the hospitals I've visited, and in most PHC hostels I've also visited, the nurses accommodation are very much equipped, if that is what you want to hear. Now, if you are married and you are a nurse and you want to come with your family, you can only bring them on a visit visa, and by so doing you will need to rent a place outside of the hostel. They won't allow you to stay in the hostel with your family, because definitely it might be disturbing other people you're sharing space with. So that is it. And if you want me to make a video on nurses, how they could bring their families, how they could find accommodation, all the necessary things that are there, just write it in the comment section. If you're a nurse, if you want me to do this video, or you have a friend who has a friend who is a nurse, or you have a relative who is a nurse who is coming here or wants to come here, and you want to hear more about nurses, just leave it in the comment section and I will be answering all your questions. Another person asked about getting a job here in Saudi Arabia. Another person asked about getting a job here in Saudi Arabia and bringing her kids along with her. She asked if it is preferable to come then seek for a job while here, or stay back in Nigeria and then seek for a job. Well, I can't really tell so much about that, but what I'm saying is this: getting a job while you're here is difficult. It's not impossible. It's not impossible, but it's difficult, because most people will tell you to go back home and use the agents available to get a job. But if you can get to their sites, maybe search some sites, you might be lucky, who knows, to get some jobs on the site. If you know any hospital that is recruiting, you might be, you might be lucky to get a job. But the best and easiest way is to use the agents. And while you are here, you could actually go to some private hospitals and ask for information on how they recruit. You might be lucky, you will get a job. I've seen a few people get a job through that means, going to the hospital, the private hospitals themselves, asking them questions, submitting their CV. If they need nurses, they will definitely call you. So that is it for getting a job. And concerning bringing your kids along with you, it's not going to be easy, because everybody is not advanced. Asking if you could get a daycare where you could place your kids, and what it costs, the cost is like, and everything. It's not easy. If you're going to a city where there is no daycare, what will you do? There are some big cities where you could easily get daycares. A place like Jeddah, Kuba, Dammam, Riyadh, Abha. These are very big cities. Meanwhile, we are going to Abha, so watch out for the videos from Abha and from Jizan. Yes, all the tourist attractions, we are going to be going to those places. And if you've been watching up until this time and you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You asked me to come back, I've come back, so you better share, subscribe, like, comment. Let me get to hear from you. Yes, let me get to hear from you. So if you're living in a big city, you could easily get a daycare. But if it's a small city like where I'm living, it's difficult. Very, very difficult to get a daycare in such places. Is Babayo, yes. You asked if you can get a housemanship here, because almost done with your medical school in Nigeria. Can you get a housemanship here? To do your internship here in Saudi Arabia, and then probably get a job along the line without having to get the 2-year experience which is needed for any foreign doctor to work here. I can't really say so much about that, because I don't really know much about doing your housemanship here. I know somebody has somebody sent me a DM sometime early this year telling me that she got a housemanship, an internship here in Saudi Arabia, but the problem she has is with the Arabic language. Now, if you don't know Arabic, housemanship is not like you're working full-time. It's partly a training program, right? So how are you going to learn if you don't hear Arabic? Because in most hospitals, they speak Arabic. So how are you going to hear what they are going to be teaching you? How are you going to interact with your fellow interns? How are you going to interact with your supervisors? So I don't really know so much about you doing your housemanship here. And I don't know how you're going to cope. Even if you get a placement for your housemanship, I don't know how you're going to cope. She also asked if I know the different routes, depends on what you want to call it, doctors take, when they are coming here, or if they want to come here. I've seen some Sudanese doctors who graduated from medical schools in Saudi Arabia here, but how they got the admission and everything, I think is something you should, send an inquiry to the school you want to study in and hear what they have to say. Then two, if you're already a doctor in Nigeria, you can come here as a medical officer, as a specialist, or as a consultant, and these are different pathways through which you can come here. But for medical officer, I would say in quotes, because I can't really say exactly what is on ground right now. In the past few years there were a lot of influx of medical officers, but right now I can't really say what is happening, but if I get information I will put it out there. But for specialists and consultants, yes, you can come here and work as specialists or consultants, foreign specialists or consultants, yes. And it's perfectly fine if that is the route you want to take. Another person asked about salary. Money matters. I don't really discuss so much about money matters on this channel because it's region specific, it's qualification specific. A lot of factors can affect your pay, so I don't really want to put something out there and then when you get here you don't get exactly what you were told. You will be thinking I'm just here kidding, you understand, or I'm just here playing. No. And the pathways you can follow to make sure your salary increases or you get a good pay. I think I will do this in a totally different video so that I will tell you all you could do to make sure you get a pay, a good pay when you come here, rather than coming as a GP. I will make a video about that, and if you want to see that video, please leave it in the comment section right now that you want to see a video, all the things you could do. Not necessarily all the things, but some things you could do to increase your pay before you come here, so that whenever you're here, no matter your years of experience, your pay can at least increase. You understand? You have a very, very, very competitive salary. So if you want to see that video, leave it in the comment section. I will be doing that. So guys, I think that is the much I can take. I don't want this video to be too long, but leave all your questions or your queries, whether personal, private, public, about me, about Saudi Arabia, about best places you can visit in Saudi Arabia, about tourist attractions in Saudi Arabia, about your coping mechanism. A lot of people have asked about coping mechanism. I think I should make just a video about coping mechanism when it comes to living here in Saudi Arabia. I am 100% sure, everywhere has got some challenges, but if you know how to cope, it makes it a lot easier for you. So if you want to also see that video, leave it in the comment section and I will be doing the video. So coping mechanism for expats, for foreign workers in Saudi Arabia. If you want to see that video, leave it in the comment section and I will be making that video. On this note, I'm going to be signing out, appreciating each and every one of you, appreciating your efforts, appreciating your love, appreciating your care, appreciating your concerns, appreciating all the questions you've been sending me. Keep them coming, and if I cannot answer you directly, I'll make a video about it. Even if I've answered you directly, I could still make a video about it so that other people who couldn't ask will have the opportunity to hear what the answers are. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Please now comment, leave that comment, leave that question. Leave that question, leave that comment. Follow me on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, because we are also going to be getting active on all those channels or platforms. I'll see you in my next. Bye. Love you. Peace.